Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Well, I've got this great good-looking guy in my studio. Did everybody tell you that you were so good-looking?
They told me I look better without my glasses since I've had cataract surgery. That has happened.
Yeah, well, you're not only good-looking, but you actually are such a good person, and you do such a good job for Faith Farm Ministries, and that's why you're here now, because we have to really help you and help the organization to function, because you do so much. You know, when you think about some people lost their home, they lost this or that, but you're talking about how many people, the students plus all the staff, what kind of an employee base do you have?
Well, we have 440 beds between the three campuses of students, and we have 92 employees.
A lot of people that we have to really help, that know they're doing their darndest to get every last cent and do everything that they did, but it's been hard. So what if you could have your druthers on this show now, what would it be?
What would it be?
Yeah.
I love it that you will never tell me what you're going to talk about when I come in here, because you want it to be spontaneous. If I could have anything, I would ask people's heart to be touched to give to us right now. Our power was out for 11 days on our thrift store, and that's how we support ourselves. And we lost about $314,000 in projected revenue that we should have gotten. And frankly, we're having a tough time paying bills, because that was going to be the weekend of our major sale, and we had to cancel all our ads and everything and just put everything to a halt and batten up the hatches and, get ready for the storm.
Okay, so could this weekend be a big sale? Is that what you're going to do? Because I could help by announcing that on my radio show.
Yeah, we're
Saturday
praying right
morning.
now that we won't have rain. They say there's going to be rain Friday. In our board of directors quarterly meeting yesterday, we all joined hands and prayed that we wouldn't have rain, because when it rains, the crowds just aren't there.
What makes people want to come, though?
Well, partly the prices and the variety, and now I would think people would come to replace stuff that had been damaged. Of course, they've got to get the damaged stuff out, and we can envision, especially up along the coast where there was water damage. Most of the people's furniture have been ruined, and we're the third largest Ashley furniture dealer in South Florida. There's no way to get any furniture any cheaper than us, not to counting the really cheap stuff that's been donated that we resell. But even new furniture is, and now we have a kiosk where you can, a touch screen, you can order anything Ashley makes. They only let us carry the lower line like Signature. We can't carry Millennium or their high ends, but now you can buy anything, carpeting, you can buy anything that Ashley makes. And they're the third largest furniture manufacturer in the world.
That's because they believe in you, but they also know you do a good job for them. So let's get back to, when your thrift shop was out for all that time, during the day, you still couldn't function, huh?
Still couldn't function. No, we couldn't. And, so we put guys out, after the storm. We still had no power. So we had guys out picking up trees. I've got a banyan tree where the root system that fell over, the root system is probably about 12 feet high. It's twice, I'm 6'2", and it's twice as high as I am, just the ball of the base of the tree laying there. And we have two of those over by the church. And of course, we, like everybody else, we lost trees. We had carport awnings. Our staff lives in mobile homes on the property, and the carport awnings got ripped off. And thank God I just thank God that storm slowed down and turned and went more west, because if the eye had hit us, those mobile homes wouldn't have made 185 knot winds. They just couldn't. But it slowed down enough that we didn't lose anything. We just lost stuff like carports and that kind of stuff. We lost the metal awning that's over our appliance repair shop. And
so today, are people working? Are they okay now? They have
we're back to electricity. We're back to having classes and everything. We had about 55 parents who sent plane tickets down to evacuate their boys because they didn't want their sons in the storm. And of course, none of us expected, I mean, we were praying for the things to change and slow down, but you don't know that it's going to happen in advance. So they wanted to get their kids out of there, so they sent them tickets to go to Boston, New York, wherever they live.
Right, and this was unusual because the people don't usually leave at this point, but you had to.
They don't usually, and we just told them we would give them a week to come back, and when they came back, they would be drug tested, and just like as if they went on an 8-hour pass in the program, and they would allow, if they ever leave, we don't allow them to re-enter. So they came back into the program, and we've made arrangements for that. And Fort Lauderdale campus had 37 guys that left.
No
and went home.
Kidding. So there are enough people out there that really care about their family enough to do that. Yeah.
And see, a lot of these people are homeless and they don't know anybody, but the people that had parents that were supporting them, praying for them, they sent them tickets. And got
those
them out
people should have sent an extra $100 when they came back to help.
It would have helped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what? That maybe there's a source there you haven't gone after, and maybe that would be another source. That how many you said that there were 40. So if you got $100 from each one of those people, that would add up for you.
Yes, it would. Yeah.
So maybe that's a thing to go after too.
We've been very fortunate. We've had 14 radio stations from here to Miami that have run 30-second spots, PSAs, and given us the time, as well as made an appeal to help Faith Farm through this time on the Irma relief, hurricane relief. And I don't know how that's going to work because those PSAs just started running, but
they could work.
People, yeah, it was very gracious.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have listeners out there that have thought about
absolutely.
A good charity that's long term that you know is going to be there and solid to give to. And if Faith Farm was one of those, this would be a grand time to give.
Well, let me tell you,
needed.
Dr. Mencia on his radio show on Saturday morning said, a lot of people are sending clothes, they're sending things to people. He said, send cash, send money. That's what people need so they can buy stuff. They don't need suits. They don't need all that stuff. They need money for food and for water, right, and gasoline. So that's what we're going to say to all of you. So how should they send this money?
Well, you can go to faithfarm.org, our website, and there's a Donate Now button. You can donate securely by credit card. It's got our address where you can mail a check made out to Faith Farm Ministries. And, you can donate anything. You can donate stock. Anything you can donate, we can receive on our website.
And if you want, you can bring your check to our office at Boomer Times. We'll be glad to get it to Faith Farm. Bring cash, bring check, get your credit card. We'll take everything and make sure they get it. So
as you know, Anita, we really pride ourselves, not false pride, but just we're proud of ourselves that we don't ask for a lot of money, and we support ourselves on a month-to-month basis through our the donations people give us that we sell on our micro business enterprises, our cattle and all that stuff. But this is just something where our main store, that's our main source. It's 2/3 of our revenue in that at the Palm Beach store. And man, it was shut down for 11 days. And the sad thing is, two of the problems were a transformer that went out, and we called Florida Power before the storm actually hit. We needed it repaired, and they didn't get there for 11 days to repair.
You're saying before the storm it wasn't working?
Yes.
Because see, you're right next to the hospital. You should never have lost any power.
Yeah, we're not.
I don't really understand that. That's another one.
See, it depends on how they run the grids. I rent a house in Atlantis, and on our side of the street, we lost power for 2 days. On the other side, they're connected to the JFK hospital grid, and they didn't lose power. Their lights were on the whole time. So it just depends on the grid. I would think that we would be on the hospital grid since we've been there for 45 years, and the hospital has just been there 3 or 4 years. So I don't know how they connect the grid on that. Everybody says always buy. I had a guy say, I've always asked about the school system when I was buying a house. Now I ask, where's the closest police station or hospital? Because I want to make sure I'm on their power grid. I thought that's interesting.
Yeah, well, that was funny that you actually knew ahead of time that you had a problem. They never came, and then after, of course, that made it worse.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what you need is money, and what are you going to do with the money?
Well, we're going to make payroll to keep our staff employed, And of course we accumulate bills just like anybody else, and we were expecting this big sale to occur to solve all that problems. And then the hurricane hit that very weekend. So we had to put everything on hold. And so we had an accumulated amount of bills. And of course now we've got, and payroll. And,
how about food though? Do you have enough food for everybody?
We're okay with food.
So
we're just like you said, money. You know, I saw, since you brought that up, I saw an HBO show the other night, and it was about disasters. And this lady went from country to country, and one of the places, of course, she went was Haiti. And she showed piles and piles. I mean, I'm talking about 1 or 2 story building on the beach of clothing they couldn't use because people sent clothing. They finally just put gasoline to it and burned it. They says, we've got to have the room on the beach. You know, we don't have room for that. She went to Africa, and this guy spent $300,000 on a jumbo jet to fly all this bottled water, and it was in a warehouse, and somebody came and tested the water because of the heat, and took one of the bottles.
Right, with the plastic.
And with the plastic, it seeped in there, and all the water was bad. She said, and then she said, if they'd have sent us money, she said, for $18, and she showed this bag, how they dip water and they put solution in it, and it totally purified a 2-gallon bag of water, and she was pouring it out. She said, that's $18 for a continuous purification system. And she said, do you know how many of those we could buy with $300,000?
Wow.
She said, so people don't understand that you need money. She said that we have shirts, T-shirts and stuff that are sent, and stuff that people can't use. They're not the right size. They're torn. We don't have any way to wash them. You know, they come dirty sometimes. And she said, but if we had the money, not only could we go to the store and buy a T-shirt from a local vendor, but it would help the economy by that vendor getting the money. So she said, I don't understand why people won't send money. She said, I understand their heart. They want to do all these big things. She said, but I've been dealing with relief situations for years. And she said, the stuff that people send become a burden.
I think maybe people worry that the money won't go where it's supposed to.
That's
the only reason. So it depends who's in charge and who you give money to. Now, when you give it to Faith Farm, there is no worry. But
Absolutely.
Just in general, to send it. And I want to just tell everybody, my guest is Dean Webb. He's executive director of Faith Farm Ministries. He's been on our show so many years, and of course, you can see him on YouTube. And as he said, their website is faithfarm.org, and that's where you really can send them money. And I really just pretty much beg you to do that, because they're for me, they're probably the finest organization that helps people, and they're such great things. And I really hope that people listening will do this. So the other thing, though, that I wanted to share with you is people who do donate the money, they do get, and I hate to even do that, they do get a tax.
Sure,
break
we're
on
a 501c3 nonprofit.
If you just send money to some other place, just generally
yes.
There's nothing. But at least here,
right.
It's very organized.
They do get a tax deduction for what they send, yes.
And that helps people, too. So I just don't know what else to tell you.
And I know you probably don't. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I want you to.
You probably wouldn't want me to say this on the air, but your listener need to know that when I walked into this studio, the first thing you did was hand me a check made out to Faith Farm to help out. So I want your listeners to know that you put your money where your mouth is. You don't ask them to do anything that you're not doing yourself.
Thank you. I wish I had a couple more zeros to put on it, though. That's what I said when I wrote the check. But so that's what people can do. Thank you. But people, all you have to do is go to one of their graduations. And I know people don't understand that. Why would I want to go to a graduation at Faith Farm? Well, it not only is great for you to watch what they do, but it feels good personally. It makes you know that life, sometimes you find fault with a little thing. Like today, I had a lot of disappointments and everything with some of my advertisers. And yet when I pull back and I say, wait a minute, I've been to a graduation at Faith Farm where people have suffered such enormity. And yet here they are being saved. They're going to be a great human being for society. You do a lot of good there. I mean, it's hard. If people haven't been there, they have no idea.
Yeah,
Dean?
it's the juice that keeps me going. I was speaking at a Christian college on business ethics. I guess it was Monday night, and I didn't get home till 10:30. I'd had such a long day, and I had my quarterly board meeting the next day.
Oh, goodness.
But which I had to prepare for. But all I could think of, as exhausted as I was, all I could think is we're changing lives.
Yes.
When I go to a graduation and hear these people from where they've come from, stand up and talk about where they are now and the forgiveness they've given for spouses or parents or bosses that didn't give them the promotion they thought, whatever ilk is going on in their life that caused them to drugs or do alcohol. To see them totally free and clean of that is the greatest reward in the world.
When your homecomings, they're amazing, because here you have people who are very, very powerful. I mean, they are multimillionaires. Some of them I've heard speak, and they just say nothing else mattered. You know, this is what it is. What you do here is what matters. And so I don't know how much more we're begging, we're telling people, please do it, because it's important. So if you haven't given any money for the hurricane, and, if it's $5, it's okay. It's a $50, $500, whatever it would be, put them in your will, put them anywhere you can put them. It's funny, I am on the foundation board of the Broward Health, and I'm doing a lot to help them. So I understand how there, of course, the hospitals, people donate $25,000, $100,000, $1 million, because it's a big institution, and they feel that, okay, people have to go to the hospital and we have to support it. And I understand that. But and people support the arts. Now, I've always supported the arts, but after I know you, I would rather support you than the arts. That sounds bad, because there are a lot of people that love the arts, or at least give half. Yeah. But you really have a great operation, and I hope that's...
When I got home last night, my wife laid the mail on where I always sit at a bar stool and open mail, and it was a letter from a card from my older sister who's in her 80s. Now, she has... her husband's his dead. She's living alone in a trailer house in California. I know she has no money, because my brother and I have gotten together and sent her money. And I know she doesn't have it, but in there was $250 check.
Oh, I have goosebumps.
And even though it was 3 hours earlier, around 10 o'clock, I called her, and I said, Ann, I said, did I know it's 7 o'clock there. Did I wake you? And she laughed, and she says, Dean, that is the weirdest thing. I was on my knees praying for you and Faith Farm. And when I called your name out, the phone rang, and it was you.
I have goosebumps. That's fabulous.
She said, this is amazing. And I told her, I said, Ann, I know you can't afford that $250 you sent. She said, wait, before you say anything else, let me just tell you what happened. She said, I started putting back $20 a month to save money to give to some ministry or to help people or whatever came up.
Oh, no.
She said, and I had 2 different ministries that I watch on TV that I was thinking about sending it to. And then all of a sudden, she said, I thought, I know the good work that Faith Farm does. I'm not going to filter. It won't be filtered through a bunch of people or organizations or levels. She says, I know that every dollar that out of this $250 I just sent you will go directly to helping Faith Farm. So she said, I just knew it was the thing to do. So don't say anything else, because I'd already saved it.
That made her feel so good. See, that's the thing. It's really, it works both ways. It's like a seesaw, up and down and up and down. And you do it. Oh, yeah, I just have to say, please don't send it to the TV ministries, because you don't know what goes on. I'm sorry. Send it to Faith Farm, because they're...
Well, I wasn't bad-mouthing those. I've sent money to them, so I'm not bad-mouthing. I'm just saying I'm in control of Faith Farm, so I know every dollar goes to help the people.
That's what we want you to do. All right, so this weekend, you're saying, now, this show will be playing this weekend, so we do want you to go to Faith Farm, right? And even if it's raining, go, because... I think it says, 80%? There's a high percentage off on everything.
Oh, yeah, up to 75% off on stuff. This is a sale that we were this weekend that we were planning to have when Irma hit that weekend. So we had to postpone it a couple weeks. We needed power for run the cash registers, that simple stuff like that, lights. So this is a sale that we were going to run then. So we'll have up to 75% off on some items. A majority of the as-is stuff will be up to 50% off. So we already have low price. You can't even beat our prices anywhere on a normal, regular basis.
So go ahead and tell us. Just run us through. What are some of the items? Just you go in there. Tell everybody what you have.
Well, we have a whole room of clothing, and along the side of the wall we have cases with jewelry. We have costume jewelry that's been donated. We have real jewelry, 14 and 18 karat gold jewelry, and you can't buy it any cheaper from anywhere. And we have furniture. We have new furniture. We have furniture you can order if you don't see what you like on the floor. We have as is.
With that kind of a percentage off.
Yeah. Now, on new furniture, we don't take that high percentage because those aren't given to us. We have to buy those. So we mark them up. But still, you can't go to an Ashley Home store, furniture store, and buy stuff as cheap as you can buy it from us because we mark it down below them because our students are the ones that we train to run things. And so they're in the program. That work makes the program free for them, but it also means it's free for us in terms of not having to charge labor. We don't have to put the labor prices into that. So it helps us immensely, that labor, which makes it free. It all works together for them and us.
Do people buy the books? I know you have huge amounts of books. Do people really buy them?
Yeah, we have a lot of books.
And people buy them. They're $1, $2. They're not a lot, but
yeah,
they will come there and buy their books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we sell books, tapes, records, all sorts of bric-a-brac, lamps. We've had original Salvador Dali paintings, as you know, from the Night of Light. We had 2 of those.
Oh, I remember.
Donated at that event, and we've had mountain bikes. The guy came in and wants, I want some of those silver bikes. I said, what are you talking about? Bottom line is, our guys, addicts off the street, they don't know that they were titanium. Right. They were $3,000 bikes. This guy got $3,000 for them on eBay, but he only paid $30 from us. But we sell our bikes for $30, so we didn't know.
I know you have dishes. I've seen them. You have vases. You have things. The Christmas is coming up. The holidays are coming up, so you could go there, and a lot of the things really look like new. I mean, you just wash them up, and they look great, and you can give them to your employees. You can give them to a lot of people. Sometimes I would say you could buy things for $5 that you normally spend $50 for. And
another thing we got now that we've never had, I've been pushing for 5 years, we got Faith Farm gift cards. So you can buy a gift card and give it to somebody, and you'll be giving them a whale of a bargain to come shop at our store with a gift card.
Oh, so you have gift cards
So we have
now.
gift cards in any amount.
That was a good idea.
Well, one of the reasons, the motivation was a lot of charities would want to help somebody, and they knew that the cheapest thing they could buy them would be through Faith Farm. So they didn't want to give somebody off the street a check. Right. We didn't have a way to credit it and bill them. We didn't have a billing process. So I said, if they could buy gift cards and give those to people, then smart. The charity trying to help them, they've got the gift card. Right. It's only spendable at Faith Farm. Right. So they know that they're going to get a good deal when they replace their furniture or clothes or whatever they need.
It could be anywhere from $5 up to $5,000, right? In other words, you would just write it on there.
Yeah. No, it'll be electronically. It'll be loaded on it just like.
That's very clever. That was a good idea.
And it was, and what's so neat is that the motivation was for other charities to try and, like sometimes Red Cross or something will try and help somebody. They've been burned out of an apartment, and it was just cumbersome. We didn't know how to do it. So we can say, okay, but they said we want them to go to Faith Farm because they're going to get the best bang for their buck. We don't want them to just give money or go to a furniture store. So this allowed them to come get the gift cards and give them to their people, and they're limited to, it's a Faith Farm gift card. They can't go anywhere else. It's not MasterCard. It's a Faith Farm. So they're locked in to getting a good deal.
Is it pretty?
Yeah, it's kind of gray with our purple and red. It's, we didn't spend a lot of money on design. We're too cheap for that. But it's functional. I'll just say it's very functional.
Well, the article that's coming into the Boomer Times this October almost brought me to tears. It was so beautiful. It was almost like a song, reading a song. Yeah. I love that article. It was written by, of course, the women in charge of your women's
the group. Director of the women's program. Yeah, Catherine Bossman.
It was so beautiful. Yeah. I told her that.
Yeah, she got all the women together, and the men did too, and we had huge prayer meetings. We said, we practice what we preach, so we're going to pray. And of course,
and sing.
They got to see the storm slow down and move over to the left as they over the days as they prayed. And it was a real faith builder for these people. I mean, it was and for our staff.
Right.
It was very great.
Tell me what happened out at your farm. Did things get ruined there? Did your animals, were they okay? What happened?
You know
there?
what? This is amazing. We're in the calving season. Some of them come premature. Between now and February, our calves are born. We had 18 babies born, and we did not lose a single one. Not a single cow.
No. And you had a lot of bad weather out there?
Oh, yeah. We had a whole Quonset hunt we just lost. I mean, a whole Quonset hunt blew away. We had part of a roof, about a $25,000 repair bill where it was just ripped off, and it's above our cooler system that houses our refrigerated stuff because they feed a lot of people. So, there was a lot of damage. It's interesting. Our hydroponics was in a greenhouse and it was not damaged.
I love the hydroponics.
It was amazing. So,
you promised me once that I could go out there. I'm for hydroponics, and
I know it.
I really have to go and see that because I would invest in hydroponics. I believe in them so much. Will you promise to get me out there one time?
I will.
I want to see what you do.
Matter of fact, one day if you got a whole day,
okay,
we'll run you down to where we started at the Fort Lauderdale campus, and of course you've already been to Boynton Beach, and I'll take you up to Okeechobee.
That's where I want to go. Okay, well, everybody, send your money to faithfarm.org. Thank you very much. I had a great time with you.
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.